Here's a thought though, in the same price bracket you could also buy the Multistrada, which is an impressive bike but then it's purpose built. With the Diavel 1260 though, it is heckin' impressive no matter how you look at it. I'm gonna go try it, ride it some more because I want to hear that engine again. I want to... Okay, I'm serious. Which one of you two gave the keys to him? Which one was it? Was it you?
Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update.
Lucifer, Diablo, the devil, or the Diavel. Or we can say the Diavolo if we're going to be too pedantic about language. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Welcome to Express Drives. So this is the Ducati Diavel 1260S and they call it a cruiser. Now I'm not so sure. In fact, it's a little difficult to put this motorcycle in a specific category. I can see some of a superbike going on, a bit of a Ducati monster as well. When you're thinking cruisers, you're thinking about relaxed, laid-back riding. But with this, sure, the foot pegs aren't exactly very rear set, but this is something else. So the Diavel was introduced in 2011 as an answer to the American cruisers which have found immense popularity among riders across the world. But the Italians did it in their way, so they built a scary power cruiser and named quite rightly after the Lord Commander of all things evil. It's got sport bike kind equipment like the Brembo calipers and fully adjustable Öhlins suspension setup at both ends. Overall, it looks quite similar to the previous version, but no sir, the changes go deeper than they appear. Well, the first one of course is the engine, which is a 1262cc L-twin borrowed from the X-Diavel. And it gets Ducati's DVT, which is Desmodromic Variable Timing for the valves, which means more power and more torque. Speaking of power, there is just a lot of it, 159 brake horsepower. And the torque curve, well, I'd say it's not curved, it's quite flat. The kind of pull you'll feel when you open the throttle in second gear is pretty much the same of what you feel in the fifth. The wheelbase has been stretched, the rake angle has been increased, which has brought the handlebars slightly closer to the rider, which makes maneuvering through traffic a bit simpler. The seat height is now higher by 10 mm, but it is still 780 mm, which will work no problem for short riders as well. It may be now heavier by 5 kilograms, but it's hardly noticeable once you start riding. So the Diavel 1260S weighs 244 kilograms. Now, if I say it like that, it sounds like a big number, but to be quite honest, it's not for a motorcycle such as this. And for a little perspective, well, the Harley-Davidson Street 750, which is the entry-level Harley, weighs 238. Handling it is easier than it looks like it must be, because it looks big and strong and demanding and aggressive, but frankly it feels light on the handlebar, smooth to lean into corners and quick enough to change directions. That said, it will still take work to keep it leaned over more than it would on a sport bike, but then it was never meant to be a sports motorcycle to begin with. Now, the 240 section tire at the rear. This sure adds a lot to the Diavel 1260's personality, but it is capable of pushing the bike around if there are undulations on the road. You'll feel them more. Speaking of which, the forks now have a bit more travel in them and certainly makes for a comfortable ride. Not so plush that you bounce off the seat with every little bump on the road, but not so firm either that it actively tries to break your back. So the Diavel 1260S comes with an extensive electronics package as standard. The 3 riding modes, urban, touring and sport remain, and there are power modes as well. It gets an 8-level traction control, which is very much needed because there is a lot of torque going to that rear wheel, there is cornering ABS and there's wheelie control, which is really important because you whack open the throttle on this and the front end just wants to take off. Well, this bike, I think, is many things. Well, Ducati wanted to build a motorcycle which had the sporty behavior of a monster and the comfort of the X-Diavel. And they have succeeded with the amalgamation called the Diavel 1260. Now here's a thought. In this price bracket, you could also buy the Multistrada and frankly do a lot more with it. But then it is a purpose-built motorcycle. The Diavel 1260 though, just look at it. It's heckin' impressive from wherever you look at it from. I mean, sure, it demands a lot of money, but for that lot of money, you're getting a lot of motorcycle. That said, it'll still take work to keep it leaned over more than it would Pardon, please. That said, it'll still take work to keep it leaned over more than it would on a sport bike, but not so firm either that it actively tries to break your back.